Well, another huge shout out to Atlas VPN for supporting my channel and sponsoring today's video. Atlas VPN was created by cybersecurity specialists and IT engineers in 2019. Now has over 6 million users worldwide. It stops ads and malware. It also blocks malicious links and notifies you when someone is trying to steal your data. Right now, the Atlas VPN Premium Christmas deal is underway. Just £1.25 a month, 6 months free, 30-day money-back guarantee. What are you waiting for? Check out the link below. Well, it looks to me like the penny is well and truly starting to drop for some, looking at the prospect of a full-on Nigel Farage return. If Reform UK can continue their momentum, and we've seen some polls, of course, where they've already overtaken the Liberal Democrats to become the third most popular party. Just what a massive impact this could have in terms of the next election, where, of course, Reform pledging to stand in virtually every seat, around 600 general election candidates. You've got columns in the Evening Standard now, for instance, about the potential impact Reform could have. The Tories are vulnerable on their right flank. Nigel himself, they're accusing the Tories of running scared now, and he's referring to this Times story that there is genuine fear now from some Conservatives about Nigel Farage's return and Reform UK further surging in the polls. As I've long discussed, when you look into the breakdowns of who's now backing Reform, you see around 20% of those who backed the Conservatives at the last election currently intending to vote Reform. The party apparently approaching senior Conservatives, including former cabinet ministers, about joining. And an MP there clearly worried about a Farage return there. Quoted as saying, if Farage goes all in, anything can happen, because the only person like him is Boris. He can move numbers, he can move polls, he can move people, especially in this demographic. Saying, but if he's just carrying on, turning his attention a bit, it won't matter. He'll have to be fully into it with a plan. It's got to be the Nigel Farage party. Otherwise, we'll be fine. As for what Nigel is currently saying, I'm quoted there as saying, life is much more fun doing what I'm doing now, but you never know. I'm not ruling it out completely. So this certainly is a story, a development, I think, in terms of Reform, in terms of a potential Nigel return, that I think is going to get more and more coverage as the penny starts to drop from Conservative MPs, that unlike at the last election, when, of course, the Brexit Party stood down against them, this time Conservative MPs will have a Brexiteer alternative candidate from Reform standing against them. And, of course, something I've highlighted is the number of videos we have seen recently from Reform setting out their criticism of the government, and Richard Tice increasingly himself in the media speaking out. Interestingly enough as well, over at hever.news, my newsletter, I actually recently conducted a poll about what readers of Hever News, if they had to vote in an election tomorrow, who they would vote for. Would it be Conservative or Reform? And that came back 98% of readers of Hever News currently intending to vote Reform. So absolutely overwhelming. As I said, Tice and Reform have been on the offensive. I'm going to play some video of some of their messaging as of late. Watch some of this and let me know your thoughts in the comments below.